Good afternoon, YouTube. Alright, guys, we are sitting in my truck. Yeah! Doing truck stuff. So, it's really nice to think that when I go and do truck stuff, or at least dirty stuff, I can take this truck, because it's a work truck. So we're headed to the junkyard. We're going to try to find a few knickknacks for the truck. It's just missing a few things I'd like to try to fix, like an inside door handle for one of the flip-out doors. Need some random few little things here and there. Some of the lug nuts are kind of stripped out and wore out, so I want to see if they got a truck there I can steal some lug nuts from. Fun fact, lug nuts cost like $2 to $3 a piece at the parts store, and I'm pretty cheap, especially when it just comes to stuff like that. So I usually go to the junkyard. I'll get a handful of them for a couple bucks. So yeah, pro tip of the day: if you need lug nuts and you don't need anything fancy, you just need stock replacements, go to the junkyard. You can find some really good condition lug nuts, really cheap or free, who knows. But either way, so we're going to drive down there and see if we can't find some things we need. But other than that, just to take a minute to talk about the truck, you know, I'm really surprised with it so far. I didn't really pay a lot, obviously. It's in rough shape, obviously. But, you know, every time I get in it and drive down the road, it does. It so far has been, you know, a very welcoming vehicle to my family. It hasn't given me any issues yet. Today, we may try to get some new tires put on. I just got the notification that the tires have been delivered to Walmart because they had them really cheap. So maybe if they have availability, I'll try to get those installed today. So yeah, we'll see if that happens. I got almost all the brake stuff in. I'm waiting on some more rotors and the brake hoses. So soon, I don't think I'll get to it before I leave Sunday, but you know, we'll set those in the corner of my office for when I get home as some of the stuff to do to the truck, because I plan on driving this all winter so my Infiniti can sit in the garage. But yeah, so I got rotors, pads, new rubber brake hoses, new tires, and then after that it's going to be shocks. The rear shocks are blown. One of them I'm pretty sure is completely blown. It looks like it's like got that black oily coating on it, like all the oil leaked out of it. And over bumps it's pretty unsettling. But you know, so that's to come too. I've been thinking about getting the KYB Monomax. They're affordable. They're around $50 a piece. They're a monotube strut. They say they're for heavy duty, for towing and stuff like that. If you have a better recommendation or another suggestion I should look into, please comment down below. Just list the name of the strut or something like that so I can do some research on it and see if it may fit my needs better. Keep in mind, this truck is pretty much going to be used for towing my race car to track events, loading it with parts, tires, engines, whatever I need to get transported from wherever I'm going. So I mean, it's not going to be a daily driver, and it's not going to be off-roaded. I'm not going to be going through mud holes and lifting the vehicle. I'm actually putting a smaller tire size back on it. I'm going back to the factory tire size because increasing the diameter of the tire impacts the final drive ratio and will make it harder to tow. So I'm going back to the factory tire size. So yeah, just keep that in mind. But if you have some strut recommendations that I should look into, you know, just comment down below, and I appreciate it. You know, any suggestions you guys come up with really help me out. You know, I'm new to the truck world. You know, it's held together with nuts and bolts, but you know, as for parts and recommendations and stuff, I'm used to like, oh, this strut handles better for a lowered car that wants to drive fast and go around turns fast. I'm not familiar with, oh, this strut works better when you want to load 10,000 pounds in the back of your truck and tow 10,000 pounds. Either way, so comment down below. I really appreciate it, and stay tuned. Yes, can I have a small coffee with 1 cream, 1 sugar?
You've got a small coffee, 1 cream, 1 sugar?
Yeah, please.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
155, please quote.
Alright, thank you.
You're welcome.
So I was driving down the road and I just realized, you know what? I haven't had any coffee today and I feel a bit off. So, hey, Tim Hortons, we're going to get some. Gotta have my coffee. And I just love Tim Hortons. Yay for coffee. I like how I watched the guy give the other guy one of those hot sleeves. Oh no, the camera. So I like how I watched the guy give the other guy in front of me one of those sleeve things because they're hot. I didn't get one. Damn it. Alright guys, so I didn't bring it with me in the junkyard. There wasn't really anything there that was going to be entertaining or anything. I was able to get some lug nuts, which is what I needed. So really, I was kind of disappointed. I was hoping there was going to be a Chevy there that I could steal some door handles or some tailgate handles or just some random knick-knack parts I needed. They didn't have anything of this year, so nothing was going to work. But I did find a van there that had the same axles and everything that I could steal some lug nuts off of. So I got some lug nuts, and now we're just going to go home and basically try to change out the bad lug nuts so I can take this down to Walmart and have the tires put on and everything, and they won't give me any trouble about, oh, I can't get these lug nuts off, blah, 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 blah. So I'm going to do all the hard work for them so I can just drop it off and get the tires put on. So yeah, we're going to head on home. Alright guys, just to bring you a little update, in my absent-mindedness, I forgot totally that I meant to meet with my powder coater to drop my wife's wheels off. So the truck project of just trying to fix the lug nuts and drop the tires off is not going to happen today. It's getting too late. I don't think Walmart stays open that late on Sunday, so we're going to go meet and drop off these wheels. I'll probably still try to fix the lug nuts. I don't know, but we'll see. So yeah, this is really not the most entertaining video. I guess it's just really kind of a vlog of my day-to-day. So I'm just trying to tidy up the last few ends, or tie up a last loose ends. There we go. And everything before I leave next Sunday. So yeah, I'm trying to get these wheels dropped off. They can get powder coated. My buddy will pick them up, bring them to my house, drop them off, and everything, so they'll be ready to go. I will share with you the finished product when I get home in October. And everything, they should look really nice. They're just factory wheels, but we're getting them powder coated a special color for her. So yeah, we're going to do that, and then I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do the rest of the day, but yeah. Alright guys, so after mowing the lawn and doing some other stuff, I'm finally back to working on the truck, and I'll actually show you some footage of actually working on the truck. So I'm going to show you what the problem is. So if you look closely, like here, you will see that the lug nut is basically rounded and damaged. Now if I take this in for tires, they're going to be like, I can't get a lug nut off. And then you know what? They're not going to change my tires. And I can't afford that. I got 6 days left until I leave, and I need these tires done so that, one, they're done, and I don't have to worry about it when I get home, and two, I don't have to figure out where I'm going to put these tires until I can get them done when I get back. So I'm going to show you some tricks, and hopefully we can get these lug nuts off. If you noticed, I got one off already, and I'm working on another one. So, you know, we'll see what we can do, and hopefully we'll get them off. So basically, when they're rounded like this, these are 22 millimeter lug nuts. What I've done is I've hammered on a 21 millimeter, and this is a 12-point socket. It goes on a little easier than a 6-point socket, so I usually start with that and see if it'll bite hard enough to get it off. I'll try with the impact a little bit. If that doesn't work, then I'll get a big bar and a cheater bar and basically use leverage to try to break it loose. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Alright, that doesn't seem to be coming out with an impact, and this impact usually is really strong, so I'm going to say it's not going to come out because this is the strongest impact I have, and it's never given me an issue getting anything else loose, so they're probably way over torqued, which is probably why they're stripped. So now we're going to turn to physics, which is putting a breaker bar with a jack handle for extra leverage to try to break it loose. Alright, so we got it loose. Alright, so hopefully the stud looks fine, so hopefully the stud's fine and it'll take a new lug nut. Now I'll show you a trick after you do this on how you get the lug nut out of the socket. Now I would normally do this anywhere, but considering that the concrete that the truck is on is brand new, I just don't want to tear it up, so I'm going to come in my garage, which has got shitty concrete. But either way, basically what you need is you need a hammer, and you need concrete or any hard surface. You can use metal, like something really steel or whatever, but it's really loud. So I tend to like concrete because concrete kind of chips and absorbs the energy. But basically what you're going to do is you're going to hit down on the socket near the lug nut, and that's going to deform the socket and vibrate out the lug nut. And as you can see, the lug nut is starting to come out. And then, like magic, it pops out. So that's basically how you get any bolt, lug nut, nut, whatever you got in a socket stuck. You can try this little trick, and usually it works with a little bit of patience. And And some places I used to just throw the sockets down on the ground and they'll pop out, but then they can go flying and damage cars and stuff. So you got to be careful with that. But usually just hammering them on the ground like that and they'll pop out. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and work on a couple others, and then I'll show you the damage when I'm done. Well, guess what, guys? I finally got done. That is right. I have loosened and retorqued every lug nut on this truck, so they should have no problems getting them off tomorrow. Now, there's a couple that are just slightly worn that I would replace if I had any more lug nuts. I may tell them to go ahead and replace a couple, but every lug nut came loose, and the ones that were really bad got replaced, and then every one of them got retorqued to proper spec. I'm not a big fan of just using air impacts to tighten lugs. A lot of shops do it, a lot of people do it, especially in the backwoods and stuff like that, which is where I got this truck. So I guarantee the shop just had 180 psi of air on their hose and just cranked them on down or whatever, but that's not my style. Now at the track, when I'm in the drift car, I do usually use the impact gun to tighten them up, but I always go over them with a torque wrench when I'm done, and usually I under torque them with the gun and then set the torque with the torque wrench. So yeah, I just don't trust using just a gun, and I don't like over torquing lug nuts. It's just a pet peeve of mine. When I was doing tires, installing them in a shop and stuff like that, I really hated when they came in and they were over torqued, and I really didn't want to send out customers' cars over torqued. So I always use torque sticks and torque wrenches. I don't have any torque sticks, so like I say, I always just finish up with a torque wrench and set it to spec. But let me show you the damage here. So I ended up changing well, more than 5, but these are 5 that I have lying around here, and as you can see, they are extremely worn out, damaged. I had to hammer sockets on there and everything, and then beat it out with my huge cheater bar, aka jack handle, and a breaker bar. So hopefully that helps you if you're in a situation like I am, where your lug nuts are over torqued and you cannot break them loose even with air tools. I think my air impact is rated at 500 or something foot-pounds, maybe 600 foot-pounds. It's pretty brute. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's not a Snap-on, it's not a Mac, it's not anything fancy like that. I got it at Walmart on clearance. It's a Boss Stitch. I have 2 or 3 of them, and I'll tell you, I love them. They beat all my Harbor Freight ones, all my old Craftsman ones. It's been the strongest one I've had, and it cost me like $60 on clearance. So I went and bought another one. Like I said, it's never given me a problem. So these lug nuts are just way over torqued. I also tried my DeWalt half-inch drive battery impact. It's rated at 400 foot-pounds, and it actually broke most of the front lug nuts loose, but it wouldn't touch any of the rear ones either. So there was only one lug nut in the front that I had to use a breaker bar on to get it loose. But so yeah, they're just way too tight. And normally I would say the tighter the better, but not in this situation, only in certain things. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and close this video out. I know it was mostly a vlog. I did get to work on the truck a little bit. I did fix an issue. So hopefully tomorrow or Tuesday I can get this thing down to Walmart, get it scheduled for the tire appointment, get all the tires installed, and wait for parts to come in. I really hope I will be able to find the time to maybe do the brakes and do a video on that, but I doubt it. Like I said, I leave Sunday. I'll be gone for about 2.5 to 3 months and everything like that. So yeah, that'll be fun. But hopefully I can do some videos about where I'm going and where I'm at and everything. There should be some things to do, some hikes or something like that and everything. It's not really a vacation. It's more like a work-related trip. So I'll be working long hours and who knows what right now. But yeah, stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will catch you guys later. Oh, and a side note, I really apologize that the drift footage took so long. I was disappointed with Saturday's drift footage. Most of the good stuff did not make it onto the camera because the battery died and everything like that. But yeah, so hopefully next event, next year, when I'm racing more often, I'll be able to get some better footage, maybe get some better camera angles and stuff like that. But hey, it is what it is. I did the best I could.